Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the men and women of the Nebraska Air National Guard, I'd like to welcome you to today's special ceremony. Today, we'll celebrate the promotion of Lieutenant Colonel Frederick D. Phelan to the rank of Colonel in the Nebraska Air National Guard. We are honored to have Brigadier General Michael Callahan, Director of Joint Staff, Nebraska National Guard, as our presiding official for today's special ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the singing of the national anthem by Mr. J.C. Schrantz, followed by the invocation given by Chaplain Hauser.
Let us pray. Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, you have blessed us in abundance through the life and service of Lieutenant Colonel Frederick Phelan. Be with him and his family as they open a new chapter of leadership among us. Grant them your grace and mercy now and always. Help us to recommit ourselves to the values you call us to hold and that make our nation great. Bless us now and always. In your most holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Schrantz and Chaplain Hauser. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. First, we have a number of distinguished guests in attendance today. Most importantly are the family and friends of Lieutenant Colonel Phelan, with whom I'd now like to introduce. Please hold your applause until all names have been read. A special welcome to Lieutenant Colonel Phelan's wife, Melissa, his daughter, Caroline, his son, Nicholas, father-in-law, Doug, mother-in-law, Verna, friends, Aaron Kirkman, Chris Galfano, and Nikki Jost. Thank you all very much for coming. We also have a number of distinguished military visitors in attendance today, with whom I'd now like to introduce. Please hold your applause until all names have been read. Major General Daryl Bohack, Adjutant General, Nebraska National Guard. Major General Mark Music, United States Air Force, retired. Colonel Mary Mile, Director of the Joint Staff, Nebraska National Guard. Colonel John D. Williams, Commander, 155th Air Refueling Wing. Colonel Jan Bain, Director of Operations. Colonel Catherine Kasubi, Senior Director, FEMA Region 7. Chief Master Sergeant Jeffrey Horn, State Command Chief, Nebraska Air National Guard. I'd also like to extend a very warm welcome to all the other colonels, commanders, chief master sergeants, and retirees in attendance today. Thank you all very much for coming. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the presiding official for today's special ceremony, Brigadier General Michael Callahan.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today as we celebrate this important milestone for Lieutenant Colonel Phelan and his family. You know, it's always a great day in the Niang when we get to promote one of our own, especially at this one. As a Lieutenant Colonel, Fred's already accomplished a great deal, and his rank is the mark of a successful career. Not all officers make it that far. Fewer still are selected for promotion to colonel. So today's ceremony is a testament not only to Fred's achievements here in the Niang, but also to his accomplishments throughout his nearly 28 years of military service. I'm going to talk about that in a second, but before I do, let me pause and remind ourselves that military service is a family affair. And I know Fred could not have achieved such success in his career without your support, Melissa and Caroline and Nicholas. So I thank you for the sacrifices you have made as a family to help Fred earn this promotion today. So let's talk about Fred. Fred got to us about, I think, almost 2 years ago, to the NIA, and here at Joint Force Headquarters. He was hired by then Brigadier General, now Major General Wendy Johnson. And if you know General Johnson, you know she's got some pretty high standards. And I would say she's got a pretty discerning eye for talent. So before I knew Fred, I knew he was going to be a good officer because General Johnson hired him. It's not until I met Fred that you realize how uniquely capable and talented he is. You don't realize until you meet him that he brings a rare combination of smarts, enthusiasm, a great sense of humor, and confidence. I will say quiet confidence, but I don't think that really fits. And it's these qualities allow Fred to do something that I think is really important for officers, and that is to anticipate. And what I mean by that is kind of forecast or predict the needs of your commander, your unit, your mission, your partner agencies, or even staff guys like me. And Fred's really good at that. He's so good at it. I have to share one occasion, probably a couple months ago, he got me something I needed before I asked for it, and honest to goodness, my thought was, Fred's like Radar O'Reilly. But, as we know, of course, Radar wasn't a master navigator with over 2,900 hours in RC-135, C-130s, with 240 combat sorties. So Radar's got nothing on you. Which brings me to Fred's service. Beginning in 1993, Fred graduated from the United States Air Force Academy. I have it on good authority that that's the second best service academy in the country. After a short stint as a maintenance officer and in flight school, Fred was assigned to the 55th Wing at Offutt Air Force Base out here in Omaha, flying RC-135 reconnaissance aircraft. And it was during this assignment that Fred had the distinct honor of being selected to fly the first ever combat mission of the Cobra Ball in January of 2002. Now, if you want to know what a Cobra Ball is, ask Fred after the ceremony. But think about that date, though, ladies and gentlemen. January of 2002, that's what, 4 months after 9/11, Fred's already flying a combat mission in Afghanistan. Remarkable. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's not his most distinguished achievement while he was assigned to the 55th Wing. I'm I'm going to give that distinction to his fortuitous selection of his personal housing. See, Fred decided to move to the old market in downtown Omaha, where he became neighbors with a certain lady named Lissa. And as you can tell, folks, as they say, the rest is history. So after 9 years of active duty, Fred transitioned to the C-130 aircraft, serving with the Air Guard and reserve units in Pennsylvania and Delaware. And it was during this assignment, as he's now, remember, a reserve component airman, either a guardsman or a reservist. It's during this time period where Fred flew 240 sorties over Iraq and Afghanistan during the course of 4 deployments. Remarkable. During one of these deployments, Fred was awarded the Major General Tom E. Marchbanks Jr. Memorial Award for combat action at Balad Air Base in Iraq. And I had to write down what that was. So it's a Reserve Officer Association Award for feats or accomplishments displaying unique ability or courage during aerial flight. Doesn't surprise me at all. After transitioning from flying duties, Fred did 2 tours in Europe before he finally made his way back to Nebraska and joined us here in Niang at Joint Force Headquarters about 2 years ago, and is currently serving as what we call the A457, but that's translated to the Director of Logistics and Plans and Exercises. And Fred's been busy since he's been here. Not just his regular duties as the A457, but also, for example, leading a team of 200 guardsmen and women on state active duty to support the operation of the polling places in Nebraska last November during the pandemic. He's also helped General Johnson develop and publish the Niang Strategic Master Plan. And that was no small feat. And currently he's leading a team of guardsmen along with to assist the Department of Health and Human Services here at the Governor's Task Force for the COVID-19 vaccination program. So, and what's really remarkable is Fred does all that, and he actually holds down a full-time job as an investment banker, no less. So, quite a remarkable career, quite a remarkable person. There is only one problem, though. The Air Force officially promoted Fred on December 28th, so he has a serious uniform violation, which we can fix right about now. So, thank you for joining us today, everybody. It's a good day.
Thank you, General Callahan. Will Lieutenant Colonel Frederick D. Phelan please come forward and join Brigadier General Callahan. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as Brigadier General Callahan promotes Lieutenant Colonel Frederick D. Phelan to the rank of Colonel. Attention orders. Special Order AP-1. By order of the Secretary of the Air Force and direction of the President, Frederick D. Phelan is extended federal recognition and promoted to the grade of Colonel with the date of rank of 28 December 2020. By order of the Secretaries of the Army and the Air Force, signed Daniel R. Hookinson, General, Chief of the National Guard Bureau. Thank you, General Callahan. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Would Caroline and Nicholas please come forward for the placing of the insignia?
Hey, Fred, move this way a little bit and you'll get you on the camera.
Oh, yeah.
Right there. Right there.
Yep.
Hey, it won't stick unless you count it in.
Thank you, Caroline and Nicholas. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. At this time, Brigadier General Michael Callahan, please come forward to administer the reaffirmation of the oath of office.
I state
without any mental reservations or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the office of
discharge the duties of the office of Colonel
in the National Guard of the State of Nebraska,
in the National Guard of the State of Nebraska,
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce for the very first time Frederick D. Phelan, Colonel. And Governor, please be seated.
Wow, what a great celebration for me and my family. General Callahan, thank you for that kind synopsis, all the kind words of my career, and to everyone, thank you so much for coming. I think it's most important that I start out by recognizing my family, who's really helped make all this possible for me. So, to my wife, Melissa, thank you for being my rock, for bearing so much of the burden, especially in the earlier part of my career, and for generally putting up with my part-time career for these last couple of years. I love you, and on behalf of the Air Force, the Air National Guard, we extend our sincere gratitude. To my beautiful children, Caroline and Nicholas, you're truly the light of my life. I have enjoyed watching both of you develop into the smart, caring, and loving children that you are. I don't know if there's any in here, but if I were a keen recruiter, I would have my eye on both of them. And as a postscript, Caroline just turned 17, so she's ripe for the offering. I think she wants to be a doctor, so if there's a way to make that happen, she's your girl. In the meantime, for them, unfortunately, they now must endure what is basically going to be the perpetual orders coming from me that state, sorry, but the Colonel says it's time to clean your room. It's time to take out the trash. Colonel says, right? Just as much as I'm going to have to endure the endless eye rolls that come with that statement. And I think at the end of the day, we'll see who blinks first. To my in-laws, Doug and Verna Curry, thank you so much for being here today, and thank you, just simply thank you for all you do for my family all the time. I truly appreciate it and love you both very much. To my family not in attendance, but I know who are watching through those two little boxes over there, I love you, and I truly wish that you could be here, but understand because of today's circumstances, it just is the way it is. Mom, I can't express just how much your love has meant to me and how much you've taught me, particularly in my faith life and other things over the years. You're the greatest mom I could ever possibly have. To my stepdad, Staff Sergeant John Rank, United States Marine Corps.
Right.
Thank you. Who was certain, as of yesterday, that he outranked me. In fact, he often enters the room in our house and says, "At ease, Lieutenant Colonel, Marine Staff Sergeant on deck." And he means it. So I don't know. I hope that the events of today will go a little bit in the way of kind of leveling that indifference, but we'll see. To my sister in California and her family, Emma and Finn, and to my older brother Tim and his family, Heidi, Cece, and Brooks, I send you all my love back in Pennsylvania. As General Callahan mentioned, two of my special guests are, this is just a Herculean effort what happened to get these two gentlemen here today. But they are classmates of mine from the United States Air Force Academy class of 1993. And Aaron Kirkman and call sign Robo had to endure living in the same room as me. I think it was like a penalty, but for 2 years in both junior and senior year. And Chris was also a squad roommate of mine. You are both heroes to me. I've respected everything that you've done in your career, and I just think the world of both of you. And knowing that you've done what you've done just to be here just means so tremendously much to me. So thank you. To our VIPs, including General Bohack, General Music, obviously General Callahan, thank you for everything that you've all done to support me, not only here, but in the community, with the AFA, and for teaching me how to be a better officer, and I thank you for that. Like it was said by General Callahan, it was literally almost 2 years to the day that I sat up there in then Brigadier General Johnson's office. And, you know, I'd been on the road really with the reserve component for a number of years. And knowing that I was sort of getting towards the end of my career, I sat down and asked her, you know, is it possible that there'd be a home for me here in Nebraska? And I knew intuitively that there was a risk to that. A senior 05 coming into a brand new unit, particularly in the Guard, is an unusual thing. And I would be lying if I didn't say I had some intrepidation that maybe I would be somewhat of an outsider or whatever, at least until it was time for me to go. From the first day I got here until I stand here today, that has never, ever been the case. And I thank all of you for that. You have made me so welcome. You have made Nebraska my home. You have made Lincoln my home. You have made the Nebraska National Guard home, and have given me just a sense of belonging to this community. So thank you. Moving on to some more of the operational stuff. Colonel Mile, Colonel Bain, and to the entire Joint Staff, thank you for providing me the chance to work on some of the, what I would consider more of the unique or challenging or different missions that one normally gets to do. General Callahan sort of mentioned what most of those are, but I've appreciated the camaraderie in your group, and I sincerely appreciate that all of your trust in me to handle those things and to look after the airmen and the soldiers who were put under my care. As a result of having worked on some of those teams, I can proudly say that the airmen of the Nebraska National Guard are by far the finest, the most talented professional airmen I have ever served with at any level of command anywhere in my entire Air Force career. It has simply been an honor to serve alongside you. So, whatever challenges my next assignment and this promotion bring to me, know that I take a piece of every one of you with me, wherever I go. I can only promise you this, that I will work tirelessly every day to be worthy of this honor that you're bestowing on me here today. And as one final promise, I do promise at some point to have a promotion party at a later date in a post-COVID scenario, and maybe even hopefully a few rounds of golf thrown in there if circumstances allow. Although I must say that I'm on the fence here about making my very first official order as a colonel that I declare all of my 2-foot putts good from here on out. My legal advisor, Lieutenant Colonel Marstad back there, his review is still pending, but I have a feeling he's going to come through for me. And I think Brian can attest to that as well. So until then, God bless America, God bless the Nebraska National Guard, and may all of us, for now, keep those preparing to come home from defending our national capital region in their thoughts and their prayers until they're home safely. Thank you very much for being here today. It's just quite an honor.
Thank you, Colonel. The men and women of the United States Air Force and the Air National Guard are proud of Colonel Phelan and look forward to working with him as he takes on new challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Air Force song and remain standing for the departure of the official party.